apologies, the battery died. As I was saying, a couple set of components, a few components, they were actually able to perform, a wide range of tasks. Okay, as you will soon see. But it's just really brilliant. As you can see, they are all very, very sturdy, very well built. Okay, it's really difficult to damage any one of these components. Okay, and by the way, this transmission was used in some pretty heavy muscle cars. Okay, it was used behind the 427, which was used in the one of the most popular cars was the 1963 and 64 Ford Galaxy. Okay, and that was a pretty heavy car, 3,700 pounds. Okay, that's 1,600 kilos. That is massive, guys. Modern cars, the little Japanese shit. Most cars, all of them, they weigh like 500 or maybe 700 kilos. Okay, so that Ford Galaxy weighed basically twice as much, or even 2 to 3 times more than the car today. Okay, that thing, I mean, it was a muscle car, right? So, if this transmission was used on it, it's because it was a pretty heavy-duty transmission, right? So right now, I'm going to use this on the Rambler American, which was one of the cheapest and most economic cars of that era. Okay, it was in 1963 or 61, I'm not sure. It won the economy race. Okay, so it was really economic, even to standards of today. But it was also a lot lighter. Okay, it weighs about 1,100 kilos approximately. So it's about 500 kilos less, which is about a little over 1,000 pounds lighter than the other application. So basically, they put a big heavy-duty transmission on a little car. This transmission was also used on the Jeep. Okay, so it's got to be pretty, pretty tough, guys. Pretty indestructible. Okay, by the way, just wanted to share that with you guys. But okay, moving on with the explanation. As I was saying, these two, they're splined onto here. So, like I was saying, whatever you do on the manual transmission, these two are following it. Okay, and you see that once they're in spline, they actually move together. Okay, if I take them outside like this, you see that one, they move independently. That's because they're not on their splines. Okay, they're not on the spline. That's why. See, they can move in opposite directions. But once they're in, okay, let me just put it in. Okay, I just gotta. You should never hit these things to get them in, even with your hand. It's a very, very tight fit. Okay, there's one. Just give me a second. There we go. Okay. So now they're turning together. Okay. So they always turn together. Okay. One is stopped, the other one is stopped. So, in reality, in the application, both of them are together. Not necessarily the pinion gears here. See, they're not touching the splines. They're far away from the splines. So, okay. I think what we can now do is, I think we can study this part first. Now, around this, I've shown it on the other videos. I'm not able to show it to you now because it's not only necessary, but the big output shaft, the long one, it's a little bit it's more difficult to remove. I didn't remove it on the other transmission, so if you want to see what goes around here, you can watch it on the other video. But I'm going to use this this peanut butter jar here, just so that you can see through it. Can you actually see a little bit through it? Yeah. So I'm going to use this to represent the output shaft. Okay. But basically, it's just a simple output shaft that goes around here. Now the piece that goes around here, it's obviously thinner at the end, then it's wider here, and then it's even wider around here. It fits the profile of this perfectly. Okay. So on this side, the part of the output shaft that goes on top of this is just a perfectly round, smooth pipe, basically. Okay. There's no splines, no teeth, nothing. Okay. Then the part that goes around here, it's actually called the ring gear. Okay. And it's got matching splines to the ones here on these small pinion gears here. Okay. So, okay, that's a bit of an overview on each part. I'll remove this. I'll just show you something else as well. And by the way, these teeth, as you can see, they're a lot bigger than the shaft, so they're not splined onto the shaft. They fit the sun gear, okay? Like that. Now, what this arrangement of planetary gears is, it's a pretty basic concept in automotive, especially in automatic transmissions. Now, if I push this all the way in, and these splines on the sun gear, they're connected to the splines on this actual case here, on this metal, on this steel part here, not necessarily on the gears directly, if you understand what I mean. Now, as you can see, these are a lot longer, so they're always in constant mesh with the gears, with these smaller pinion gears, okay? And as you can see, I'm going to put them all together in. Put them all in together. And let's see how I'll go about this. There's just a lot of information. Okay, I'll show you this first. So when this is pushed in this way, okay, this sun gear is connected to the cage here. So it'll turn the whole thing, turn together. But these little pinion gears, they won't turn. See? Because they're connected to the sun gear at the middle. Zoom in, you piece of shit. They're connected to the sun gear there in the middle. And since the sun gear is unable to move, then they are not able to move as well. The sun gear is not able to move because it's connected to this. So this whole thing is turning together. Now remember, this is turning separately now, but once it's in there, once it's in the shaft here, it's also going to turn together. So when this sun gear is pushed in like that, inside the pinion cage, everything is turning together. And I'll show you. I might as well show you this way. There's so many different perspectives to all of these things. I'm not going to push it all the way in, but as you can see, let me just put it in the gear here, as you guys can see. Just give me 1 second. Putting the shift lever back. So if I put it in second gear, put the transmission in second gear, a little harder to shift now because there's no oil. See, everything is turning together. And now, if everything is turning together, then the output is the same, okay? It's still in a 1-to-1 ratio, which is direct drive, okay? It's not in overdrive. Remember, the overdrive, the output has to turn faster than the input, okay? Right now, since everything is turning together, you know, I know this gear is bigger, then it gets smaller here with the input shaft as well. So here's the output shaft, sorry. Here's the output shaft, it's turning together, okay? Everything is turning together. The pinion gears here, you're locked, you're unable to move, see? They just turn together with the sun gear, okay? So that's another aspect here. These pinion gears here, these smaller gears, they depend on this gear, okay? Hang on, I'll just have to pause this video for a second.